with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he repeated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Yo, what up? What up, friends? You know what it is. Ballin' Buds, excuse me. I can't even say my own entertainment network name correctly. You know what it is. We're here again with another beautiful stream, and we've got some awesome friends, special all-stars joining us today. Yes, we are talking NFL football. The conference championships are this weekend, so we will have our DC Commanders insider, Shane Peacher. We have our KC Chiefs insider, Wildcard Mar, and as well, very special guest, Philadelphia insiders, CoolMcCain. And I will let them come on and introduce themselves and give their handles so you can go subscribe as well. And you may be watching them on their channels as well if they have added them on. So we thank them for coming in. Again, thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS, for all the videos. There's a QR code there up top. You snap that, that'll take you to the LinkTr.ee. I know Cool knows all about that, so he'll be giving you his in just a second. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Banter, brawls, and bravado, the championship round. Let's get straight into it and kick this bad boy off. First, we're going to bring in our DC Commanders insider. Yes, you saw him week 5 with the Hail Mary. He was the one talking that shit to Tyreek Stevenson, making the interception happen, making the Hail Mary happen, or the non-interception happen, making the Hail Mary happen. DC Commanders insider Shane Peacher. Let's go back to a quick interview we had with him earlier in the year.
Team of destiny. Everything is bouncing our way. And as the kids would say, I think Jaden is him. And I've been telling you that for weeks, man. And it's not just his athletic ability. He is so poised. He is so just like confident. Like he stands in there. Every time we need a play, he makes it. You hear about how he's there at 4 a.m. before everybody else, and he's got his workouts in. He's there an hour after everybody leaves. He's doing that virtual reality training. It's unbelievable, man. He just seems to be a film warrior, man. And you know that's most important than anything. That's what makes the greats, the greats. You know, if you can be good, you can be great, and then you can be special. And I'm hoping he's special. I'm telling you now, and I'm going to say it right here, Dale. That's our friend Dale's a Chiefs fan.
The snail.
I'm hoping we have talks in February. He's coming down the road, buddy. That's what I'm hoping.
Yes, and so Dale is a Chiefs fan, and so we will be happy to welcome in our KFC Chiefs insider, Wildcard Mar. So let's first bring on DC Commanders insider Shane Peacher. What is good, my brother?
Hey, man, it's close to February. What did I say, my friend? Can you believe it? Even I can't believe it.
I cannot believe it. No, I will tell you right now, I cannot believe since 20 years, 2005, here in the DMV, the Commanders are back to another playoff game. It is quite unbelievable. But like you mentioned, Jaden Daniels is proving to be him. And we'll talk a lot about him today. And we'll also talk about who you mentioned. Shout out to the Snail and his Chiefs representing those Chiefs today. My brother, my streaming partner from the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, come on. What's good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, another day. Blessed to talk football, be amongst great content creators. And hey, man, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Yeah, and definitely go ahead and give everybody your socials where they can find you at, please.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, man, you can always tap in with IOW Sports Network, all platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Facebook. Yes, sir.
Or maybe it will stop. I don't know. It might go under bail, so you never know.
Nah, no doubt. And then definitely the YouTube channel for RW Sports. But if you want to chop it up with me personally, you can always make your way on over to the Twitter and go ahead and type in that KC Wildcard Mar. And yeah, come join me. I'm always talking sports.
Yes, sir, he is. He is one of the hardest working people in the biz. I know he announced his boy as being one earlier, but I would beg to differ and say he is one. By the way, Shane, you can find him at Peach-O-Mania on Twitter and Instagram. I'll go ahead and insert that for him because I forgot to let him do it himself. Shout out Daniel Barry. Thank you for tuning in as always. And shout out to Let's Talk Sports Network, The Bottom Line Sports, and all the above. All right. And now from the Eagles Elite Podcast, representing our Eagles insider, CoolMcCain. What is good, brother?
What's going on, man? I see you want to say the best for last. I got you.
Yeah. You know, something like that. I think one person that I had to move down next to you would beg to differ, though. Oh, man. So go ahead. Cool. Thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate you. Go ahead and give everybody your socials and all that, where they can find you at.
Sure. You can first easiest drop. Just go to this LinkedIn right there and do the thing. But if you don't want to go that right, then we're going to start off with the Rumble, right? Because I'm sliding over to Rumble, checking out some things there. So on Rumble, it's Cold as Ice Productions. You go look up Cold as Ice Productions on Rumble. You can see my different stuff because cold as ice. But on top of that, you can find me on YouTube at Eagles Elite Podcast and at Real Play Callers. Socials, Twitter and Facebook, CoolMcCain. On Instagram is at cool_McCain. We also have a channel set up for the other shows, but you know, for the sake of time, we'll just stop there.
Hey, it's all good, man. We all want to make sure everybody gets their promotions in. Y'all make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels here and make sure you tap in because the content is always on point. All right, well, gentlemen, it is 4 of us tonight. I tried to get the Bills guy that y'all had on just with y'all jaws, but he had dinner plans. So he had to roll. So I will be representing the Bills here, but we're also going 4 wide the whole time. So we're just going to go a little round robin around the horn format. Shout out to Big Ron. He is wondering who the hell I am and who Shane is. And no doubt, we don't blame you for that. We are new ballin' buds. Hopefully though, you enjoy the content today. Here
hey, Big Ron.
And what up, Daniel Barry? I be finding you everywhere, big dog.
Yes, Daniel Barry. He be tuning in on the Let's Talk Sports Network to every show. He's a loyal follower. We appreciate him. Make sure you'll hit that like button. Help us out in the algorithm so YouTube will share us to other people while we are going. Let us get it. All right, y'all. So, big conference championship games this weekend. It is a 50-50 chance that we get a Super Bowl rematch. If the 2 hosts win, the Chiefs and the Eagles will enact a second take of Super Bowl, 57? Not 57, 47? Or what was that? LV2. I'm not good with ruminal numbers. I don't know. One of y'all can tell me. If it's the 2 road winners, though, Buffalo and Washington Commanders will renew their acquaintances from 1992 when Mark Rippon led the Washington Commanders to their last Super Bowl victory. So first, let's start there. Let's go ahead and start off with CoolMcCain's Eagles and Shane Peacher's Washington Commanders. This game is tomorrow at 3 p.m. It is the first game on the slate. And as you mentioned, Shane, a big portion of this game and a big portion of what we're going to talk about is Jaden Daniels and the ascension that he has had this year and the way that he has brought this team back into contention single-handedly. He will be the only, the 6th rookie QB to lead his team to a conference champion, and none has ever won it before. So we'll see if he will be able to do that. He has been able to do that with an 18-ranked defense. So middle-of-the-pack defense means he's pretty much controlling this with his cool, calm, collected composure. On the other hand, right, we got the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and I want to hear what Cool has to say. Obviously, a little banged up the past few games, wasn't able to run it as well, but they have the best runner, my MVP, Saquon Barkley, who has just been tearing the league up. And I know Cool will talk about that more. So let's go ahead and get started with this game, and we'll throw some more questions in there and stuff like that. But I'm going to go to the guests first, Shane. So we'll start with Cool. Cool, how do you feel about how your Eagles season has progressed thus far to get you to this point?
No, I mean, I said this before on Mars show. I'll just take the same path here. Monster defense, monster run game. Those are two of the things that you need in order to be successful in the NFL in the playoffs. Regular season, you can throw for 5,000 yards, 6,000 yards, 7,000 yards. You have three or four wide receivers that have 1,000 yards. But when you get in the playoffs, you don't have defense, can't run the ball. It's a problem. A lot of close games for the Eagles, but we run the ball very well, and we play very good defense. Those are the two things that you need to hold a Lombardi.
And I want to follow that up because last game we saw that the Commanders could not stop the run, and what blows my mind is that they did they did not. Ben Johnson did not continue to feed the ball and to Jahmyr Gibbs and keep running because they were unable to stop it. And I cannot foresee in any way them stopping Saquon Barkley here. The Eagles averaged 215 rushing yards in the season series against the Commanders. Peach, talk to us. What do you think about that? How do you feel your defense, a middle of the pack defense, will be able to try to contain Saquon Barkley?
Saquon's going to get his guys. Our best defense is our offense. Keep the ball away. Go on long drives. That's what we've been doing. And he did bring up a good point. In the playoffs, you need good defense, good running game, unless you have one of those ones. You have one of those quarterbacks, like I think Jaden is, he can take you over that top and get you a win. So that's what I'm hoping. Keep the game close. If Jaden has the ball last, good night, Eagles. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, okay. So I mean, we'll get the scores in here in a little bit. So no one give their score yet. But close games, especially in the playoffs, being two divisional teams, they've played each other twice now. This will be the third meeting. Usually that sort of thing is going to happen. Cool. Talk to us about Jalen Hurts' injury. Tell us what you're hearing from inside headquarters there. Is that going to affect, obviously, it did last game, how much he runs, and how will that affect the game plan?
So it'll definitely affect how he runs. And, we can't run the ball with him a lot because, the Commanders coach, defense coordinator said, if he runs, they're going to treat him like a running back. So, we don't want to have him treated like a running back. And, of course, I'm being sarcastic here because I just want to say on that whole thing, I think it's crazy work to come into a game when you have a mobile quarterback that's going to run the ball and tell the other team's mobile quarterback, if you run the ball, we're going to treat you like a running back and think your quarterback is not going to get the same treatment. That's crazy work. Thank you. That is crazy. It's a work, yo.
In Joe Witt Jr.'s defense, though, my friend, he said that about Baker Mayfield at the podium, too.
What he said about Baker Mayfield, piss on Baker Mayfield and everything about him.
No, I get it.
The Eagles are listening, and you over there talking about we're going to hit your injured quarterback like he's a running back and think that that's just going to be brushed off to the side and we're not going to worry about that.
But, I mean, your coaches are saying the same thing. Ours just said it in public. It is what it is.
It is reckless, though, to say that
your quarterback like a running back.
But that's football, man. That's what they all try to do. They're gonna try to rip Jaden's head off. I already know that, but that's every game. You know what I mean? That's every game.
Technically, you're not going to try to rip his head off. What you're going to really do is what you did last time. You try to slam his head in the ground with what's his name?
Luvu, Frankie.
Dirty Frankie again.
That's all pro Frankie right there. All pro Frankie.
Hey, dirty all pro.
Wow.
I'll just say this. Jaden's going to be all right. They're going to manage it. The thing with the Eagles is Hurts stays around 200 yards and under. We're 4-0 in the playoffs with him.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
For the big numbers, we're 0-3. So why would we go out there under any circumstances and throw the ball more than like 20, 25 times, right? Because we understand what it takes to be successful. We understand what we did right in the past, what we did wrong in the past, right? I don't discount it. So I'll start by that. I don't discount the fact that the Commanders beat us with Kenny Pickett. I just make sure that it said that was Kenny Pickett for most of the game. I don't discount the win, but we have to tell the truth about the win.
No, that's true, but I mean, I still saw Jaden put 5 touchdowns on that defense. Regardless, I mean,
He did put
Jalen Hurts doesn't play defense.
He did put 5 touchdowns on the defense, and he put, if I remember correctly, 3 of them in the second half when we only had one drive ourselves. That was a really elongated drive that wasn't a stupid play or a drop or anything like that. And you only had the ball for about 10 minutes, a little bit under 10 minutes in the second half. But, you know, when you don't have when the leader of the defense gets kicked out because somebody pushed him in the face mask and he didn't respond, that does affect how your defense plays too. So we did lose CJ who is the emotional leader of the defense on the field. So that did play a part in how the game in the second half, because that's when Washington started the ascension, when CJ was long gone, as well as Jalen Hurts. But it's okay, because you know what? Things happen. He got mad. He let them get to him. You know, he's one of those guys. He just got to stay quiet. He got to just say, hey, I'm going to chill. Even though what you're doing is wrong and what I'm doing is not. Apparently, the referee's going to look past what you do, and he's going to throw the flag and kick me out of the game. So,
well, we don't know what he said either. And
whatever, but it's worse enough to allow somebody to hit somebody and not be thrown out. If you want to throw both of them out, that's cool. But if somebody hits you, and that's a personal foul. He should have been. If you want to throw both of them out, cool. But you can't throw one out.
No, I agree. A flag should have been thrown on Chin too. But the flag for him was thrown before the push. It happened after the push. I'm thinking he might have said something to the ref. And you know, just like baseball, you cuss out a ref, you're out of here. So,
what I saw, it wasn't before. I didn't see it after. I saw the push happen, and then I saw a flag come out, and I saw the players on my team looking at the ref like, what? And then the players that were there on my team for CJ said CJ didn't say nothing.
Well, he'll be there tomorrow. He'll be there tomorrow.
And it will be definitely a matchup of, obviously, Dan Quinn, the defensive head coach there, or the head coach who has a defensive background there in Washington. And obviously, right, you've got the Eagles. And I mean, look, when you have Vic Fangio as your coordinator, he is one of the best game planners defensively in the league. And so both of these teams are going to try in quotations to stop the run. But with the best offensive line in the league that the Eagles have, and especially the team still left, and with Saquon Barkley going for almost 300 yards in the regular season, Wildcard Mark, how do you feel about the Eagles' running game versus the Commanders' non-existent running defense, and also Jaden Daniels versus the Eagles defense?
I mean, it's an interesting battle right here, because obviously for the Eagles, you definitely want to get Saquon started and let him pretty much be the engine. Whether percentage wise, the health of Jalen Hurts, I just always see the Eagles operate more or better when you rely on some of your other playmakers not named Jalen Hurts.
And now that's going to be an issue too, right? Because he got hurt last game. How do you think that? Obviously, the Commanders are going to try to force him to run a little bit.
Well, and this is why it's very important or very imperative of who's ever calling offense, who's ever in charge of it right now, is to make sure that you paid your receivers, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. You just paid Saquon, and he's had an MVP year. I've been waiting for Dallas Goedert to break through that kind of glass to see if he's going to be a real deal tight end or not. It's like, because I feel like he has the athletic ability, but sometimes I feel like I don't know if it's the play calling or they're not letting him shine enough, or if it's something that he's doing that's not making him break through. But I think I'm waiting for him to like you got rid of Zach Ertz, so we thought you was gonna take the torch and run that joint, joint. At least that's what I thought, in my opinion. Cool, you could correct me if I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. Yeah, but it's so many weapons on this offense. It's like you don't have to let Jalen be the focus. I mean, even if he is hurt, you don't have to make him focus.
And now that's the other thing. Cool. I want to come back to you on that because Jalen Hurts being, banged up and them having to rely on Saquon Barkley, the receivers haven't been able to perform as well either. And that could be partly due to the injury, could partly due to play calling, whatever it is. But Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have not been performing as their usual all-pro levels that they usually play at. What are your thoughts on that? And as well on what he said about what Mar said about Dallas Goedert.
So it's a philosophy change. In the past, we've been a 50-50 run pass team. You got the best running back in the league. You're going to run it. Yeah. So there's not as many opportunities, right? You're looking at 25 opportunities last week to catch the ball, 20 or 25. So when you don't have as many opportunities, it's harder for anyone who's a pass catcher to have the same type of numbers. And that includes Dallas Goedert. And what I'll say about Dallas Goedert is he doesn't get the same bulk that you would want. But the ones that he gets are normally important, right? Big first down, big club somebody down and run. This is a team that's going to run the ball. This is a team that's going to play defense. And this is a team that's going to throw when necessary. And that's whether Jalen's 100% healthy or not. We tried the Super Bowl. We tried the championship game before, right? We got there, but then you got to the main one, and we didn't make the main thing because we didn't play the same way, and it hurt us. So now you know what to follow. You know what's got you here. You continue to follow that same thing. This may be a game where A.J. Brown gets off. This may be a game where Goddard gets more. This may be a Devontae Smith game. We don't know. But what we do know is it's probably not going to be all of them because it is going to be run heavy.
Right.
Now, it may be more passes than we normally would have because of Hurts being injured. He has fully practiced the last few days. He can move around on it, but it's a full game. You don't want a quarterback that's injured in any way, shape, or form out attempting to run the ball like he does when he's not hurt, unless he's going to roundabouts or get down. And he will do that at times, but at times he'll try to run through people, get slammed on his head, all that kind of stuff. So got to be careful with him this week. We need him this week, and hopefully we win, and then we'll need him the next week. And there was somebody in the comments that said that Jaden Daniels has been healthy and hasn't really got hit.
That's your boy Flo. That's your boy Flo.
I just want to remind him that against Pittsburgh, there was a rib injury. I think it was either Pittsburgh or the week before that he got a rib injury. I don't know if he forgot about that. I also want to remind him that when we played the first time, he wasn't able to be as elusive because he was injured. And I'm not, I'm just stating the fact here. Just want to remind him that did happen. So there was a couple of games there where we did have an injured Jaden Daniels with the flak jacket on.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So it wasn't durable all season, but he was tough to play through it.
Yeah, he's gotten better. He's gotten better at getting down and getting out of bounds. I'm not worried about that. But as far as the Eagles go, the game plan that they use is perfect, man. That's perfect for Jalen Hurts. He's not a guy that's going to throw for 300 yards a game. He takes care of the ball. And the one thing that I'm going to say is if he can't run, that helps us out because when Pickett came in the game, we didn't have to worry about a running quarterback, so we just crashed the edges. And in the second half, Saquon only had 45 yards. And that's a win against Saquon any day of the week because he had 100 yards in the first quarter, right? When Jalen was out there. So if he can't run, maybe we can slow him down. Like I said, he's going to get his 100 and he's going to get his touchdown. But I just say play keep away, score some points, and if you can somehow get up double digits, it's going to be hard for Philly to come back because of how they play. Then they're going to have to throw the ball. It works to our advantage. So we'll see. Like I said, this is going to be the toughest game. I don't care that the Lions were the number 1 seed and we beat them. The Eagles are a better team, I think, all around, especially defensively. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree on that. The defense has allowed the second fewest points in the league on the regular season. The Eagles have 30 takeaways over their last 13 games, including a 6-0 edge in the playoffs. So their defense has been playing at another level, which, like Cool, you said they're going to need with, Jalen Hurts being banged up. But again, it's going to be a mostly run heavy plan on that side of the ball. Now, on the other side of the ball, we've talked a lot about Jaden Daniels. He's led 11 scoring drives on 16 playoff possessions. They are averaging 31.3 points per game in their 7-game winning streak. So they are humming along. Cool. How do you foresee Vic Fangio putting in a game plan? What exactly will the game plan be to try to contain Jaden Daniels?
That'll be a mix of press coverage. It'll be some regular straight up man. It'll be some zone. There'll be exotic blitzes at times. He doesn't blitz a lot, But there's a guy named Jalen Carter you may or may have heard of.
Ooh,
He's going to be in that backfield, and he's going to be eating a lot. Jordan Davis, a lot of people don't realize Jordan Davis gets double teamed on most plays, right? And when you're running a 3-4, that's why you see a lot of like linebackers getting in the backfield and making plays on. It's because they're double teaming Jordan Davis. You've got Milton Williams you got to worry about. Then you've got, the big dog. So when you got those three guys up front, that does allow other guys to come off the edge or come up the middle and have opportunities to make plays. So they'll have to make sure they maintain their zones. They'll have to make sure they maintain their gaps. They'll need to read what's happening. They've played Jaden Daniels twice. This is something that no other team in the NFL has had the opportunity to do. We have 2 full games of footage on Jaden Daniels. You understand some of the things that he wants to do, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, now that we've played him twice, we're going to take him out of the game, and he's not going to do anything. Not crazy. But it will give us an opportunity to see some of the things that maybe we can exploit. Maybe he turns his foot a certain way. He taps a couple times when he's doing certain things. Those are things that we'll be able to exploit. And the main person who will be exploiting that will be Jalen Carter. Because for those of you who don't know, that man lives in the film room. The reason he's been so successful is he lives in the film room. Vic Fangio is going to look at what's going on, and then he's going to adapt to that. He's going to start out probably more of base defense, but then as things go on, he'll make adjustments from drive to drive and big adjustments at halftime. What I love about what he does is he's going to look at what you're doing and adapt. The Commanders were very smart last week, right? Because the Lions were like, oh, you're doing the same thing? We can't stop it. So we're just going to let you keep doing it. We're not going to try to do anything different. I think we're going to try to do something different. I don't anticipate a blowout of any nature in this game. Like I said last show, we haven't blown out anybody that's a good team. And we haven't blown out some teams that aren't good teams. But what I will say is when that clock reaches 0, more often than not, we have more points than the other team. And it's not like we're getting it's not like the other team's getting down the field and we're getting like a pass interference call against the other team at the end of the game for us to win. Like we're actually going out and we're beating the other teams, right? So there's something to be said for that. Also, I will say the Commanders do present a problem, and it's crazy how we had so much trouble within the last game with Jaden Daniels running the ball, and we have a running quarterback. I think Jaden Daniels is a little more decisive when he runs. And I know that Jalen Hurts is hurt, but I want people to understand if your game plan is to, Jalen Hurts is hurt, so we're just not going to worry about him because he's not going to run the ball because he's hurt. I want you to come into the game with that game plan. He'll have controlled runs. It'll be runs where he's getting some yards and getting out of bounds or getting down so he doesn't have an opportunity to take a shot to the injured leg. But he's going to run the ball. He's going to run the ball. Because if he doesn't run the ball, then what Shane said would be absolutely correct. We know that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. And let me turn this to you, Shane, and you, Mar, to answer this. So let me give you a little background on. So in the games versus the Eagles, Jaden Daniels only carried the ball on a designed rush on 6.6% of plays, well below his 10% average outside of those games, which means he was designed to run less against the Eagles when they played him. The Eagles are not a big blitzing team, but they blitzed Daniels at the highest rate of the whole season that he had been blitzed at in week 16 at 25%. But Daniels has been one of the best against the league in the blitz, just ruining, eviscerating, total evisceration of the Detroit line. But as Cool said, right, rushing more defenders, especially Jalen Carter, who, and I want you to touch on this, Shane, but you're missing left guard Sam Cosby, I believe is his name. And so that is somebody who would most likely be part of the double team that would be thrown at Jalen Carter, which no longer is going to be there. So how can Cliff Kingsbury, who has now, jacked up the amount of runs within the playoffs, but hasn't done it against the Eagles, how can they find the success, or what other things may they do if the Eagles are able to contain Jaden Daniels?
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to try to run him. I don't think he ran that much the first game against him because he was hurt. He had the ribs, so there was no designed runs that game. So I think that kind of skewed everything. We're gonna have to pray without Cosby there. I'm not gonna lie about that. Without Cosby there, we're gonna have to pray because he's our best lineman. We're gonna have to double team Carter and hope for the best. The main thing, we got to stay ahead of the sticks because that's another thing. Since the playoffs start, especially, we go on every fourth down if we're across the 50. If we stay ahead of the sticks, you're gonna have to stop us 4 downs, not 3. We don't care about kicking field goals, as you saw last week. We have a scary kicker anyways, so you might as well go for it. And plus, you got to score points to win because of our defense. So that's what I say we have to do. Just, like I said, play keep away. That's the main thing.
Mar, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Eagles trying to contain Jaden Daniels? Obviously, they run less against the Eagles with that menacing defense. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, you obviously have to. I mean, we got to understand that even though he is a rookie, age-wise and maturity-wise, he's a little bit mature than your average rookie. So we got to remember, like, his running abilities. Whether you agree with it or not, and I'm not saying they're at that level, but he's dangerous enough to scare you like a Lamar Jackson. We can't act like it's impossible. So the guy can move the ball with his feet. And if you don't have gap integrity and keep your lane integrity and make sure that you keep him contained, those big gashes makes that offense in Cliff Kingsbury, he's going to start cooking, and then next you know, this not even you're going to have a repeat of last week. If you don't contain Jaden, oh come on, man, you might as well call your travel agency, Philadelphia Eagles, and say where you want to go. Belize or
we're going to Cancun, baby. We going fishing.
So yeah, going fishing. Get your boat, get your reels. And get your bait, because you mess around and don't contain Jaden, and that opens up the playbook. And Cliff has shown that if it's starting, let's be honest, Jaden is the engine to it. He's so composed, and I love what you said about him earlier. He's not scared. He's not scared of this.
So composed for a rookie, man. Just cool as a cucumber.
Hey, I call it Triple C, cool, calm, collected. He's ready to go, and I think he's the key of this game. It's either way it goes. If they get to him and can get the pressure on him and slow him down, I think it slows down that Commanders offense. Because as much as I love Scary Terry, to take him out the game is to get to his quarterback. I mean, let's be honest. I love Austin Eckler, but he's not the same Austin Eckler that was the fantasy god for the last 5 years, and can make a little bit out of something with short little dunking passes like that. It's all on Jaden for me. So we'll see how it goes. But because he's so cool, calm, and collected, I think he's ready for the moment. So Vic's gonna have to come up with ways to get to him with less, if that makes sense.
And no Nakobe Dean is huge because he was spying Jaden the first 2 games, and he is really good. You might have to move Bond over there, and he's an all-pro and all, but I'd rather have him spying than in coverage because he is great in coverage.
Oh, he's absolutely great in coverage. So I loves that.
Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will probably be the spot in his place. And also Deron Payne.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt today.
It will be big for Jalen Hurts and his ability to be comfortable.
But we have Jonathan Allen back, thank God. He was out the first 2 Eagles games as well. So, we lose one, gain one. It stinks. I wish we had them both because you need all the depth you can on that line when you have to stop Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely.
And if we do win this game, by the way, y'all, there's a high probability that we will have BG back for the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's some insider information right there, y'all. Very nice. All right, cool. Well, you have heard all of the insider analysis. Now is the time to pick the games. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in before we pick their flow. Obviously, Bottom Line Sports, and he does the NFC East show with CoolMcCain. G pick, yeah, man, that sounds good. I hope you enjoy your spread for tomorrow's game sounds amazing. That's how he says. That's how we do it in KC, Mark. He said he'll be in Lot C, sir. Lot C.
Yeah. I'll be at work, and the way that my funds is set up, I can't afford no playoff tickets right now. So I will be looking at that from the comfort of 5267 Finley Street. Yeah,
sorry, you don't need to put your whole addy out there on the internet.
It ain't.
It's work, so it's work.
First of all, if somebody come to my house, please believe. If the dog bark, but you don't want to mess with the owner. I'm just letting you know. All right, I practice. All right, pow. I got good.
You got something in the hip pocket just in case.
Hey, it's gonna be a whole bunch of slow singing and flower bringing. If my burger
singing and flower bringing, let's go. All right, cool. Well, let's go around the horn and answer this. First of all, I want to know your score of the game. Who's going to win, obviously, but I also have another question that has been a very hot question around the shows this week. Is this Jaden Daniels rookie season the best rookie season for a quarterback ever? So answer that and give us your score. CoolMcCain, start us off, brother.
I'm going to go, of course, Eagles. I'm going to go 31-24. I would say this isn't the best rookie season ever. I can't think of a specific one, but I would say it is a very impressive rookie season. And honestly, depending on what happens on Sunday and if they win 2 weeks from then, it could possibly go to the best rookie season.
Okay, well, there you go. That was 34. You said 34-24 or 34-21?
31-24.
31-24. All right, cool. Shane, you're up next. Answer the score and also if it's the best rookie quarterback season ever.
31-28, last second field goal because they give Jaden the ball last. We drive down, kick a field goal, and win. I think it is. I mean, I'm biased too. I'm not going to lie, but I think you stamp it 100% if he goes to the Super Bowl. Though we win tomorrow and he plays great. I mean, who had a better rookie year as a quarterback? Seriously.
I mean, they're saying Lamar Jackson possibly, and
but he didn't really play his rookie year though. That doesn't count.
Okay, well,
right? We're talking rookie season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wild card, Mar.
Now, honestly, man, this is a divisional a matchup, and if people really think that the Commanders don't have a chance in this game, I think you're crazy. You shouldn't talk football. Look, the thing about divisional games is, obviously playing them twice, you're gonna know some tendencies. Obviously, play people 3 times in 1 year. Jeez. Throw everything out the damn window. I got this 31-28 Commanders. I think Jay. When you talk about moments that are big, did we not just witness what this man just did the last 2 weeks?
Right.
He ain't scared, bro. Like, this is big nut shit, bro. My man got big
nut it up.
Let's just call it what it is. My man got big nuts. All right.
Cold pause all day.
Let's just call it what it is. 31-28. And I can respect the dude that got big nuts and he's cool, calm, and collected. And guess what? It's the team that's following him. They feeding into him. And then when he goes, everybody goes. And that says something. That's a quality that only a small list of quarterbacks got. And he got this in year 1.
6 game-winning touchdown drives in under 30 seconds. 6 his rookie year.
In year 1? What do you know? The qualities in this guy of what you were seeing, and I'm sorry if it looks like I'm glazing, then I don't give a damn. But be a hater. The dude has qualities that has Hall of Fame, GOAT type qualities written all over him right now in his rookie year. So what? Call me a prisoner of the moment. That's what I'm seeing. He's doing shit that only greats do. And
with a crappy roster, let's be honest. Like, what other quarterbacks can do this with this roster, man? He's got Terry McLaurin and a bunch of
I call a spade a spade. The man is doing great shit right now, and I gotta call it what I see. All right. Only greats is doing what he's doing. Don't no bums just luck up on no shit like this. I'm sorry. Because you can spot a bum. I can spot a bum in a heartbeat. He ain't got bum written over him. This dude got something special. And no pun intended, the magic is in DC.
Yes, it is. Oh, baby. Oh, it is.
So,
Chocolate City. On point right now. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm telling you, if they win this game, Chocolate City is about to be in full effect, bro.
Yes.
Dude, I would acting a fool tonight or tomorrow night. So, I just got a feeling Nick Sirianni is about to do something stupid. Sirianni is literally that guy in high school that has the world given to him, but he's the fuck up of the family. And you like, how are you given the world, but you are just a habitual just fuck up, and you're a waste to society. And so you look at this situation, and Nick Sirianni, I got a gut feeling he's going to do something just so idiotic to just ruin an opportunity for the Eagles to get back to the Super Bowl. And that's why I'm kind of factoring that in too. So give me, because especially if this starts getting high score, he's going to have to find a way to insert more Jalen Hurts into that game. And I don't know if you necessarily need that in this game. So, yeah, Commanders. Sorry to be winded. I got to get my props, bro.
Nick Sirianni's just been taking mad shots fired this week. And so that's from Wildcard Mar to Nick Sirianni. I don't agree. I think people been shitting on him way too much lately. I think he is a good coach and has gotten the Eagles to be consistent and consistently win. Now, I'm not saying obviously it's all him. He has really good players on that team, so it's obviously not all him. But do I disagree with you? Like, I may not be able to see him doing something completely stupid. No, it's very, very possible. But I don't have all the Nick Sirianni hate that a lot of other people have and have been saying this week. I think he's a much better coach than people give him credit for. That being said, I mean, Flo came in 31-30 Commanders. Both you and Shane Peacher, Wildcard Mar, both had 31-28 Commanders. CoolMcCain picked the Eagles. I am going to say this. I said this on the Bottom Line Sports the other day with Flo. Saquon Barkley, and I've been saying this all year since like week 4, Saquon Barkley is my MVP. I do not think that quarterbacks should win the award every year. It should be more varied, and we have not seen a running back since Adrian Peterson, and I believe he has had that sort of season this year. And I think that with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both having really great seasons, but just being a running back and having to carry a team like that, I just think makes a difference. So number 1 and my MVP. Number 1 rookie quarterback season of all time. Again, I don't know. I would have to go back personally and look at all the seasons. But from what I do know, in all the records that he set this year, all the stats that we talked about today, I would have to say yes. From what I can remember, watching football for 30, 40 years now, for what I can remember, this has been the greatest rookie quarterback season I've seen personally. So that's what I'll say there. In terms of the score, this has a lot more to do with Jalen Hurts' injury. This has a lot more to do with the resurgence of the Commanders' offense. Also has to do with the divisional game being the 3rd game of the season, these teams knowing each other so well that we all agree it's going to be a close game. I am going with the upset. I think that with the combination of, again, mentioning Jalen Hurts' injury, going to have to lean on Saquon Barkley, the Commanders' offense being on such a historic run right now, I just have a feeling, as you mentioned, DMV, it's going crazy. I was at a local watering hole last week having a couple libations, and the DMV was going crazy. They were just going wild inside of bungalows, and I will expect nothing less tomorrow after it were to happen again. I am going 28-24. Commanders win the game and go to the Super Bowl for the first time in, 32 years. 32 years. Wow, that's a long time. 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Flo says Sirianni has already done dumb stuff called a pass play in his own end zone with the injured QB. Agree completely. That was really stupid. But Jalen Hurts needs to know that he had a wide receiver wide open in the middle of the field there. And a bootleg play action. Again, I agree. That was on that fourth. I think that was on second down, actually. But Jalen Hurts lost like 15 yards. Stupid play calls by Nick Sirianni. Completely agree there. All right, cool. Well, let's move it on to the second game at 6:30.
I just want to say one thing real quick.
Yes, please.
Thank you guys and everyone in the chat, because the fact that you all picked the Commanders makes me feel even better about the game. Oh, and all-time quarterbacks, I did some quick research here. I'll give you three that I think are right there with Jaden Daniels, Cam Newton, Justin Herbert, and Russell Wilson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like the Cam Newton.
I don't think he's all-time, but I think he's top 5.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
Those other guys had top 5 defenses, though. Just saying.
It doesn't have anything to do with their stats they put up, though.
That's a good point.
That's true too. I'll give you that. But they didn't win either.
Because like Jalen Hurts doesn't play defense. Offense, the defense, they don't play defense. So they still had to do everything on their side of the ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, I thank you really thank you for that quick research. I just thought of that question off the top of my head, so I didn't actually think of that question beforehand, so I didn't get to do the research. But thank you for that. I'm gonna have to check out the Cam Newton one because I think that's going to be actually really close. I want to see the stats. So,
really
all right, y'all. Really close. Okay. What do y'all think? Who is your best rookie QB of all time, and what is your score for the game? Go ahead and let us know in the comments, and we will shout you out as well. Make sure you hit that like button for us. Hook us up in the algorithm so YouTube promotes this more. And make sure you tap in with all the great content creators here. You know, Wildcard Mar, IOW Sports, CoolMcCain, Eagles Elite Podcast, Peach O-Mania, and Ball and Buds. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, we're about to get into this second game. Alan, thank you for tuning in, Alan. We appreciate it. Shout out Let's Talk Sports, AP. Commanders already posted the Washington jersey on Rocky. Oh, no.
It was a Green Bay fan. It's already came out. It was a Green Bay fan that did it. So it doesn't. No jinx going.
Sports jinx happening. No.
we us three brought on the sports jinx by all picking Washington, like he said. But whatever.
Yeah. It's not good when everybody's picking one team. But the experts have it. About 75% of the experts are picking the Eagles.
Yeah, so for sure.
Let's just be honest about that. All right, cool. Let's move it on into the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is going to be, after last week, it was supposed to be the MVP versus MVP best game, and it turned out to be a really good game. Started off a little slow, but this should be another one of those games where we see two, obviously Mahomes is not in the MVP race, but two really good quarterbacks, two really good teams meeting again. And let's be honest, this has been one of the best rivalries of this decade. They have met 4 times in the last 5 years in the playoffs, and I know we will talk a lot about that. But this is, really going to come down to the quarterbacks in this game. It's going to come down to what kind of offense can these quarterbacks facilitate in order to be able to use the pieces that they have, which outside of James Cook and, how high you want to put Amari Cooper on a receiver, depth chart, he's definitely a number one in my eyes. But outside of those two players, the Bills, even the Chiefs, and shout out Pacheco, he's Puerto Rican. I love my Boricua familia. But, they got a bunch of secondary playmakers, if we're to be completely honest. And Mar, you can argue with me on that, but I'm sure that you've known with all the receiving woes that y'all have had the past 5, few years, that would be correct. Now, obviously, this game is going to have all eyes on it. There's a lot of questions about the refs and how they've treated Patrick Mahomes, so we'll talk about that as well. I know, Mar, I saw you on the last stream, so we'll definitely get your opinion on that. But even though the Chiefs have been dominating in the playoffs, the Bills have won the last 4 regular season matchups, including earlier this season, and all of these games have been really tight heading into the fourth quarter. So we will start first with our Kansas City Chiefs insider, Wildcard Mar. How do you feel about how the Chiefs have progressed this season, especially with all the ups and downs, all the injuries, and all the talk of black magic?
Well, I mean, I'll save the elephant in the room for last, so I'll let everybody marinate on that one. But honestly, this team to me has a weird almost repeat of last year, where your offense is has some ups and downs, roller coaster season, but one thing that stayed for the most part consistent is your defense, and that's one thing that I'm glad that is still something that still be something that is can still be relied on. Um, but with the ups and downs of the offense of certain players in and out of the lineup, and some issues at left tackle, and then obviously taking Joe Tooney out there, who's I paid a lot of money for him to play left guard, so I would love for him to be at left guard, but you got to do what you got to do to make sure you protect the investment that is Patrick Mahomes. So, but I will say, ever since making that move, that I can give some props to Andy Reid of making that decision. The offense has looked somewhat better, and obviously has moved the ball a little bit better. They still some of the things that concern me with the offense is they can kind of sputter in the red zone. Obviously, you saw was given great field position at the start of the game against the Texans, and then pretty much went 3 and out, and had to settle for a field goal. You can't settle for field goals against Buffalo. You got to put it in the end zone. And that's the thing that kind of concerns me right there is them getting to the finish line but not crossing it, and keep settling for field goals. I like Harrison Butker. He's pretty accurate. Historically, he's up there with some of the greats. But you know what? I like it when you sitting your little bum ass down on the bench. I like it when you're doing that, or you're kicking extra points. That's the best time I like is when you're kicking extra points and making them. Yeah, it's going to be a close knockout, drag out fight like it's always been every time that they meet up, whether it's regular season or postseason. So it's going to get real tight.
Yeah, and so I mean, we all think, and most of the experts think, and the lines and the betting lines all think that this is going to be a close game, that it will come down to the end. So let's look at a couple of best topics here that we need to think of. So first of all, looking at this, and we'll get, like you said, to the officials last. I want to save that for last. Let's talk about the real concrete stuff that we can actually, the tangible statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bills ran all over the top 2 rushing defenses so far in the playoffs. In the regular season, the Broncos had the highest defensive success rate against the run, and the Ravens were second. The Bills ran for 362 yards, almost 5 yards a carry. The offensive line have been plowing all over. Now, the Chiefs are 14th in defensive rushing success rate. They did limit the Bills' run game in Week 11 to only 2.6 rushing yards per carry. Moving over to you real quick, CoolMcCain. How do you foresee the 2 running games? The Bills having James Cook, obviously Josh Allen runs the ball a lot close to the goal line. They took y'all's move, the tush push, and made it kind of their own. But they also lack, explosive receiving weapons. So how do you put that up against what the Chiefs can do defensively?
So I say the run game is definitely going to be leaned on by Buffalo. They're going to need to do that. Buffalo does something real well that the Eagles don't do, and that's play action. They do a lot of play action, and they do say, I will fake a run, and we'll throw someone down to Shakir or Amari Cooper, one of those other gentlemen that they have on that team. Keon Coleman, I believe, is one of their wide receivers, if I remember correctly. So they have a lot of guys that they'll, make things happen with. They don't have one guy, but there is a benefit to that when you have a guy like Josh Allen as a quarterback. someone who's a lot of people are talking about for MVP. He's able to spread the ball around. So if you put your top corner on Khalil Shakir, we just won't throw him the ball right there with the other guys, right? It's not that one specific guy to take away. And I think that actually works better for Josh Allen than having Stephon Diggs, who was like a number one and wanted the ball, and you're trying to make sure that he's happy, he gets what he needs. So I think this can work out well for Buffalo because they'll pick their spots. They'll do what makes sense. Josh Allen has shown over the years, he'll throw interceptions for most years. He hasn't done that bad this year, but he's shown a propensity to make the right read a lot more than the wrong read. A couple of wrong reads, throw some interceptions, you get some bad plays, that can hurt your team. That's happened in the past, but he's kind of cleaned that up, but he's still making good reads. And that's very important for a quarterback to be able to say what's open. I'm at the line. I'm at a point in my career now where I can kind of say, hey, Blueberry 77, right? Make those changes at the line when you see what the other team's giving you. I think that's an advantage that they'll have. But the Kansas City Chiefs defense is not scrubs by any means.
Right.
By any means. I mean, I'm a Chiefs hater, but I still can be honest, right? Just because I hate them doesn't mean I don't have to be honest. They get a lot of pressure on you. They allow the secondary and the linebacking core to be able to play the style that works best for them by the pressure that they get, right? Pressure is important. Any team you put pressure on another team, you have an opportunity to make them make mistakes. Mistakes cause you to lose games. I'll go ahead and pick the game. I'm going to say Kansas City is going to win the game. Know that there'll be a couple of times where they'll get one of those calls where everybody else will kind of be like, but call
All right. Well, before we get into that, which we will in just a second, Shane, I want to touch on something cool. Teams typically, when playing against Josh Allen and the Bills, play cover 2 when going with zone against Allen. He's been excellent at reading coverage rotations, taking what the defense gives him. But the best answer against Josh Allen and the Bills is to play 2 deep match coverages like cover 4 and cover 6. But it's hard to play this against the Bills because of their gap scheme running game. So tell me more about how the Kansas City defense can contain Josh Allen, especially in short yardage situations.
They just got to stay in their lanes, man. You can't let him run. The thing I worry about Josh Allen is, like you said, he's been taking everything defense has given him this year. They had the good running game going. I get scared with this pressure of playing the Chiefs in the playoffs that he's going to try to be Superman again. No, play your offense like you have been all year long. Do not be Superman against these guys. And I know that pressure is there because I'm going to use a wrestling term here. Those regular season games, that's a house show. Getting ready for WrestleMania.
Let's go.
Right. You're playing Mahomes at WrestleMania right now, guys. You can't make mistakes or he's going to eat you alive and he's going to finish the story once again.
I mean, that's tremendous because we are all wrestling fans, so that made complete sense to all of us. So, but let's be right about this. Buffalo also did not have linebacker Matt Milano last time and some other key pieces on the defense. So they were able to pressure, and 4 pressures actually for Matt Milano on Lamar Jackson last week. So while usually blitzing Mahomes is a bad idea, he was also banged up a couple weeks ago. So Mar, tell us more about if he is still banged up, how much that is going to affect him, especially if Buffalo does try to blitz or does decide to blitz against Mahomes. And also I want to know about Hollywood Brown and how he has helped the offense since he came back.
Yeah. To be honest, the Chiefs as a whole is probably damn near healthy. I mean, we got to remember they had 20 plus days off from the last piece of action from Christmas to playing Houston last week. Did it play? Did that play into a little bit of the performance? Might be a little bit of rust. I mean, we all play sports. If you don't do nothing on that type of level for a certain period of time, there's going to be a little bit of rust. But regardless, this team is actually primarily healthy. The only one that's really hurt and won't probably see any more playoff time is McCole Hardman. But they're okay at wide receiver depth, so that's not the issue. But this team is healthy, man. That rest, and you got to remember they were coming off that playing 3 games in 11 days, which is suicidal, but they don't give a damn because it's all about the money, right? But that's another topic, another story. We'll have that conversation later. But regardless, here we are back to this point in time. That when it helps with all these guys. We got to remember this is their 7th consecutive championship weekend.
Yes, it is.
We got to remember that's a lot of football being played into the calendar year. Bodies getting beat up. They had an early bye week this year at week 6, so that 25 days all did them justice. I actually like the fact that they're coming in more healthier than the Buffalo Bills, who are having injuries to key people. Now, obviously, it's championship game. You're going to play, but still, are you at your best when you're hurt? But the Chiefs are looking good in this point. So I think that plays a little bit of factor in this. But Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, I'm going to throw Xavier Worthy in there with you, just to really answer this question, is because now stats-wise, you're not blowing nobody out of the, chair like, oh, my gosh, they're being so productive. No, the stats aren't there. Let's be honest, all right? But it's the knowing how the nuances of the offense that is starting to come together. And guess where is that coming from? Ding, ding, ding. He may not be productive in the stat sheet, but he's still a very good wide receiver mentally. It's called DeAndre Hopkins. That helps a lot.
Hopkins.
All right. Hopkins is literally why would you not want to learn from DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, you're talking about when he hangs it up, and you get him fitted for the golden jacket. Go ahead, get him fitted. So, look, as much as Hollywood and Xavier are developing, and the stats will come, and obviously with Xavier, his stats look better because he's been healthy and he's been in the offense pretty much all year. And Hollywood is still grasping some of the offense still in the actual play of the game. Practice is one thing. We're talking about on field, and he wasn't there at the last matchup, so he's added into this. Pacheco wasn't there in the last matchup. So as you talked about some of the Bills players that weren't there in the first matchup, there's players from the Chiefs that weren't there that are in this matchup too. Our second best corner, Jalen Watson, wasn't there. He's back. Had a great game last week against Houston. Trent McDuffie had a Pro Bowl season. I think he got snubbed, but some reason how you don't get Pro Bowl, but you get All Pro. I don't know how that works, but hey, what the I know? What do I know? But anyway, so he's playing phenomenal. So we got both sides, and the defense is like I said, it's been the anchor. So I'm looking at the defense to really carry this game. I really don't need Patrick to go crazy. I just need him to make the right throws when it matters, and hopefully Hollywood Brown can be at one of the receiving ends of one of those plays. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and to go back to wrestling real quick, you're talking about DeAndre Hopkins. Those other receivers better become the big redwood and get under the learning tree. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Anyways, all right, let's keep it moving. So let's get a couple thoughts here on some trending topics, and then we'll get the scores. Cool already gave us his, and then we'll get out of here because speaking of wrestling, Saturday Night Main Event is on right now. So a couple things we want to talk about, though. We do have to talk about the Chiefs and the play calls. So everyone is saying that Mahomes is getting the Brady treatment, opposing players, including, Marlon Humphreys from the Raiders, even Troy Aikman, the, great NFL analyst, has called it out and said that he barely gets hit when these things happen and they need to address it in the offseason. Brady even addressed it earlier, and him being the recipient of a lot of good calls was not going to say anything about it. But anyway, look, I'm a hater too. I don't like the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs with all my heart as a Raiders fan.
But I'm just saying, of all people that should know when to shut the hell up about a certain topic, Like it would be you, Tom. Like, come on, bro. Like you some of them rings on. Never mind. Yeah.
Hey, Tom
Tuck rule,
Shady,
Omar. Tuck rule.
Tom Shady, Bill Belichick, and the whole New England scam franchise only won those Super Bowls because they cheated. That being said, let me get off my high horse. So what do you think about, please address these rumors. I know you don't like these rumors, Mark. Address these rumors about how you feel about them getting the calls, and then we'll go around the horn with that same question.
No, I'll just keep it to I try to keep it to 30 seconds or less. Look, fact of the matter is like at the end of the day, I know people want to say it's the Chiefs and the refs in cahoots, but at the end of the day, are there some plays that Mahomes going to get the benefit of the in the Brady treatment? Well, yeah. Well, Tom Brady's no longer in the league. Somebody has to get that GOAT treatment.
Wait,
who are you going to give it to? You're going to give it to Jalen Hurts? What is he proving to get that? You're going to give it to Jaden Daniels? Eventually, he'll start getting his because he's kind of starting to show that he can prove it. But he's not going to get those calls yet. He'll start maybe in the future. Josh Allen, he'll get some calls. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to get some calls. Look, you get some benefit of the calls. When didn't Jordan get benefit of calls? LeBron gets benefit of calls. Kobe got benefit of calls.
They are saying he's flopping like LeBron.
Hey, look, I don't like it either. I'm not. Hey, y'all know I keep it real. I don't like it, but hey, you try to find advantages in the game as long as you're not going to a New England type level when you want to cheat like that. I mean, it's all within a certain rules of lines. I mean, they all try it. I mean, there's a whole compilation of Josh Allen flopping like a LeBron. I mean, come on, man. That's just what they do now. I mean, it's a new generation. I mean, I grew up on knuckle up type of football where quarterback stood in the pocket and just knew they was about to get wrecked and delivered a strike. So I mean, it's just part of the game now. I just think that's just what it is, which I think plays a part into one of my keys to the victories for the Chiefs. I think it's running the football, and I'm gonna give you 3 components, and of least important to important. And I hate to say it, Isaiah Pacheco is the least important. He's number 3. Okay. I know he had the injury, but for some reason, since he's been back, I feel like his vision's kind of been off. It's just not there. I'm about tired of looking at him rush the football, miss the hole and run into the backside of my guard and tackles. I'm about tired of looking at it. All right? If you want pink eye and run into some butt, you got other times and other places to do that, but not on the football field. All right, sir. All right, let's take that somewhere else, but not on the football field. Second is Kareem Hunt. I think he's looked a lot cleaner, crisper, and found the holes a lot better than Isaiah Pacheco. He just looks a lot better. And number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. He takes advantage of the rules of them protecting the quarterbacks. And this is my point where you can't get mad at the Chiefs, be mad at the establishment. I mean, if you're gonna let me do it and there's nothing against it, you may not like it. What you want me to do? I want more championships. Why would I not?
And do you not think about the Chiefs winning 16 consecutive wins have been by 1 score? Don't you think that at some point that's going to hurt them?
Hey, you know the common denominator, all that
wins.
What are we talking about?
Okay, all right.
It doesn't need to be by 1,000. Doesn't need to be by a half a point, which is not possible. But I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to cook it up that you can win by half a point. Is what do you want? It's a win's a win.
Okay.
Dubs.
So then, what's your score for this win? Since we know you're not going to pick the Bills.
No, 27-24. This is going to be a close game. It's going to be about turnovers, and who can run the ball better. If I said this to the wifey the other day, I think if the Chiefs had 2 turnovers, you might as well go ahead and everybody go ahead and pack the hate mail and go ahead and hit send. Go ahead and be ready, and Buffalo can rejoice. But I think if it's a clean game for both sides, I'm still rocking with the Chiefs, 27-24.
And with Josh Allen, that's very possible to turn the ball over. Shane, go ahead and answer my question. What do you think about those calls? Is he getting favorable calls? Are the refs helping to the Chiefs win these games? And also give us your prediction.
I think it's a little bit overblown, and here's why. The Chiefs are on national TV almost every week, so the whole world sees them. I think it's kind of like Chiefs fatigue. So every time you see a bad call, people get mad about it. But
yes.
I see horrendous calls every week in every game. Look at the Washington Lions game last week, that fake mask. I call it the fake mask. There was no face mask grab. It kept the Lions going. They scored. They were only down 3. You know, it should have been 3 and out punt. But, yeah, I think it's overblown a little bit. I mean, of course, the superstars get calls too. If you hit them above the head, even if you barely touch them, they're going to call it. It's going to be all day long.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said, it's like professional wrestling, man. People got Chiefs fatigue, so they turned heel. They were the fun, happy team that everybody loved a few years ago. Now everybody hates them.
Oh,
they're like the New Day. They're like the New Day turning on Big E.
Whoa! Don't go that far. That's storyline Dookie right now. Don't do that. Not just my team comparing them to this lousy New Day story. Don't do that.
And I'm gonna be a heel to the Buffalo fans. 34-14 blowout.
Woo!
I feel it, guys, man. I really believe what I said earlier that Josh Allen's going to try to be Superman. He's going to turn the ball over, and it's going to be a dagger.
Ooh.
Hey, cool. I don't think you actually gave us a score earlier, so give us your score, and I also want you to answer the question, especially with all that Chiefs hate you have. Are the refs helping the Chiefs win?
So I'll give you the score. I'm going to go 27-21.
Okay.
As far as Chiefs, because as far as these capillations that I've been hearing, high level capillations that the Chiefs are not getting calls more than anybody else, or he's a superstar, so he should get calls. We didn't ask about Patrick Mahomes. See, as other Chiefs fans I know, Mr. Wildcard decided to make this a Patrick Mahomes gets calls because he's a superstar. That's true. Other superstars do.
He admitted it.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't play defense. Patrick Mahomes doesn't hold people and it doesn't get called. Those are not calls that are happening for Patrick Mahomes directly. Now, here's the thing. The Chiefs won 2 Super Bowls in a row against the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Wildcard, how many holding penalties were called on the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs in those 2 games? Now, in the regular season,
wow, just didn't even let him answer.
Where do you rank?
0.
Okay.
Where do you rank in the regular season the last 2 years in holding penalties?
I couldn't even honestly tell you.
Very, very high, meaning you have a lot of them. So all of a sudden, you expect me to believe that a Kansas City Chiefs line that holds like no other decides to get a Super Bowl and now they don't hold. But there's no favoritism toward not just Patrick Mahomes, but the Kansas City Chiefs as a whole.
I mean, it's because we use that 2 weeks of practice wisely.
This is the problem,
right?
Chiefs fans want to turn this and curtail it to try to make you look at only what happens to Patty Mayo himself. That's not the whole of it.
Patty Mayo.
The defense gets to hold people. If the other team does the same thing, it's a call. You know what I'm saying? That's not acceptable, right?
Did he just throw out a Doug reference? Are we kidding? I love it.
I loved it. I absolutely
love it. And the thing is, I'm not a person that's like, down with the Chiefs because of it, but I'm gonna hate on you because of it, because they're not doing it for my team. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
We got to go out here and play against the team that everybody want to win, because they give them everything all the time. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that every game, every play, they don't give them that, right? They allow the game to play at certain times when they're already up, when it's early, and they know they're gonna help them out later. But let's be 100% honest with ourselves. To say that the Chiefs as a team does not get preferential treatment on calls, I can accept nothing but the fact that that's capitulations. Chiefs fans know it. They're not going to admit to it, and I don't blame them. I would not admit to it either, but it does happen, and the rest of us see it. I saw it before everybody else because I had LASIK surgery, so I could see through the mist faster than everybody else. But everybody's starting to catch up now. That's what it is.
I agree with that, and I agree with what Shane said as well. First of all, when you see teams so many times, and you have that hate for them, like when you saw LeBron winning all the time, or the MVP conversation where people can't win so many in a row because of fatigue, things like that. You're going to see that. Also, as Mar admitted, and as Cool just pointed out, he's getting some calls, whether it be consciously or subconsciously by the officials. It's happening. Let me give you a stat. This is from Michael Salfino. He explored the penalty advantage from 22 to 2024 for the Chiefs. The Chiefs' opponents, playoff opponents, have lost 20.4 more yards per game than an average non-Chiefs opponent in the playoffs. So his ability to draw flags, he draws an average of 1 roughing call in each of the last 5 playoff games. So is it happening consciously? Maybe not, but it's happening. He's getting the Brady treatment, and we have to admit that. Now, again, I think like what we need to go off of is what Cool said as well, that it just because it's happening doesn't mean that it's happening all the time. There are a lot of reasons that the refs just suck ass in every single sport. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. It don't matter what soccer. It don't matter what sport you watch. The officials are straight ass, straight booty juice, straight garbage, basura. And I've said that we need to train these. First of all, NFL should not have part-time refs. These people should be full-time refs that get a full-time paycheck. They should not have to go be a damn high school janitor on the weekend, coming out calling a flag on Patrick Mahomes, making the whole world mad, betting all this money on these playoff games. So that's the first thing we need.
Well, Omar, I also want to know this.
That's fair too.
When they call in from upstairs to change a call real quick, how come we don't know when they're allowed to do that? Because sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. And that's another confusing thing about the whole issue with the refs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more transparency. And the fact that if they are calling in from New York to give the correct call to the play, why do sometimes they still get it wrong? You got 2 minutes to look at the damn video. You still get it wrong? How? Clubber D says that they drive extending calls are the dagger. And yeah, that did happen a couple times. And we remember it happened to Brady all the time. So, but again, I just think it's more to do with the refs being horrible. There is, again, some sort of validity to a star quarterback or a star player getting called, just like LeBron or anyone else. And when you have my baby Tay-Tay watching from, we gotta mention Taylor Swift for the algorithm. When you got her sitting up in the press box, black magic will happen. The Swifties are putting voodoo dolls all up in James Cook and Josh Allen at home. I'm just saying. Look, I'm a Swiftie myself. I know how deep black magic in that cult.
That's hilarious.
Group of fans. I'm sorry. So anyways, as Mahomes chases a three-peat this weekend in his 20th postseason game, not going to happen. Y'all pick the Chiefs. I'm going with the upset. The Buffalo Bills will win this game. And it's not just my Chiefs hate. 28, I see you smiling, Lamar. 28-21. Buffalo Bills exact playoff revenge, beat the Chiefs, and because I am such a storyline master, the Bills and the Redskins meet in a rematch of the 92 Super Bowl. I just called them the Skins. My bad. I'm from the DMV. I can't stop calling them that. It's just a habit. The Commanders. 28-21. I'm calling 2 upsets this weekend. Let's fucking go. That being said, we really appreciate everybody tuning in today. Everybody, make sure that you tap in with all of us. We're going to go ahead and get out their socials again before we get out of here. But we definitely hope you enjoyed the show today. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS, for all of our content. Also, catch us on the Bottom Line Sports. We will have our Sunday Surge tonight or tomorrow night after both of the games. So make sure you catch us on either Let's Talk Sports, the Bottom Line Sports, or Ball and Buds, or our recap of both games tomorrow night. That being said, let's go ahead and sign off here. Let's start with CoolMcCain. Go ahead, hit him off with all your socials and anything you want to tell the people.
So, LinkTr.ee /CoolMcCain has everything there. But you know, the main thing is the main thing. That's very simply, make sure you go to YouTube at Eagles Elite Podcast and at Real Play Callers. Go over to Rumble. For those of you who don't know, Rumble's a new thing, so check it out. And while you're there, just look for Coldest Ice Productions. That's where I'm at over there. We'll leave it there, and all I'll say is, let's hunt.
Hey, the Eagles will be hunting. Rumble, new social media platform. Not new, it's kind of newish. It's been out for a couple years now, kind of like a YouTube, but it's kind of like the X for YouTube, so you can pretty much post whatever you, not aside from straight up like pornographic material. You can you can get away with a lot of shit over there. I'm just saying. Hey, I said the whole word so we wouldn't get for it.
You talking about me? You talking about me, Mark? You talking about me?
You gotta relax.
Hey, y'all was talking about that. I was going hard on. I mean, no pun intended.
Whoa, relax. Oh, relax.
No, hey, you know, go hard.
The blue shoes down.
Was that pink lemonade? The horsepower? What was what Cam's doing? The pink horsepower. Let's go. All right, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. Shane, go ahead, hit them with your socials and let people know what you want to tell them.
At Petromania on all platforms. Good luck to everybody in here. Sorry, Omar, you don't have a horse in the race, but it's okay. People keep asking me, pretend like you've been there. I haven't. I was 10 years old 33 years ago. I haven't been there, so I'm going to have fun with this. Let's go. Let's go.
As you should. My Raiders suck. You're right. By the way, we will have a table of terribles, Bell's Bravado this week. Me and Clubber D with his 49ers, my Raiders. We'll get a couple other people on there. Maybe we'll bring Flo on so we can make fun of his Cowboys. I'm not sure yet. Eric, shout out. My brother Eric White. Go Chiefs. He says he is a Chiefs fan. And ending off, last but not least, my streaming brother from another, KC Wildcard Mar. Let the people know where you're at and what you want to tell them.
Yes, sir, man. Reach out to the content we got going over at ILW Sports Network. Or if you just want to tap in with me personally, going over to the Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar. I'll be posting just about all the content that I'll be doing on a great scale, on a bigger scale. So just going over to my Twitter page where I'll be having a majority of my own personal content, but definitely follow the ILW Sports Network on all social media platforms, including the YouTube. And I appreciate you, my man. Oh, always a pleasure to talk with my man, Cool. And hey, man, Shane, pleasure to meet you, man. I'm rooting for your boys, man. I just love what Jane Daniels is doing, man. And he's a kid got
Jaden versus Mahomes. Let's do it.
By the way,
I would love that.
I do want to say I did say Jaden Daniels was going to be a really great rookie quarterback. I did pick the Commanders to finish second in the division and make the playoffs. They have gotten further than I thought. So shout out to that. But hey, all good things must come to an end.
Wow, yes. And as that, we will leave it there and we will bring this show to an end. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Please make sure you tap in with all these great gentlemen and their content. They're always putting out a bunch of good content on their channels, and we really appreciate them joining us today. Everybody enjoy Saturday Night Main Event. I hope Jey Uso gets the win. I highly doubt it, but we'll see. Anyways, I'll
yeet.
Yeet. He's with the millions. It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist. Yo, I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Oh,